What is going on, guys? You're here listening to another episode of Paving the Way, and I'm your host, Daniel Wright. And I would like to be not one of the first to tell you, but hopefully one of kind of the first of the year, tell you happy 2024. Guys, I know the last episode that you guys got from me was before Christmas, before we went out for about a week or so to kind of take some time to reset, reflect, and recharge for this year. And I appreciate you guys coming back again for another one. So looks like last year in 2023, we did 89 episodes. So we're starting the year this year on episode 90. And we want to keep this ball rolling. As I've been telling you guys, we're continuing to grow and develop and just continue to kind of build what we're doing with this show. But at the end of the day, the goal, the mission, the purpose of it is to just continue to provide value to you guys. As a byproduct, I get that value provided to me as well, because a lot of the things that I talk with you guys about on here are things that I have to either continue to implement in my life, start implementing in my life, or is a good reminder to re-implement in my life. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate you guys continuing to support what I'm doing here, and the couple of guests that we've had on so far, whether it's my wife Kelsey or my brother Nick, things like that is just the start. So we have been strategizing on some new ideas on how to kind of spice some things up on here, so it's not just a monologue of me on here talking about certain things, whether it's a rant, whether it's a topic, who knows what you're going to get, but we are wanting to kind of spice it up a little bit. So always open for recommendations and requests though. But nonetheless, today I wanted to get into talking about getting started in 2024. So we just came back from our, I guess you call it kind of Christmas and New Year's break. We shut down for about a week or so, a little over a week, for basically from December 22nd to January 2nd. We pretty much shut the company down. We had a couple little things going on in between Christmas and New Year, but nothing major. And we do that intentionally every year to make sure that people have the time to spend with family, friends, doing whatever they want to do during that time of year. Regardless of what holidays they celebrate or what they do with their time on that, we just want to make sure that there is a set time that everybody gets to reset for an extended period of time. Throughout the year, we always close down for, 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day, things like that to give people time off. But having that long gap to kind of give everybody that time to reset and recharge going into the new year has always proven really beneficial for us. On the flip side of that, when you come back from that gap in the beginning of the year, as we did this week, it's just one of those things where if you're in a company that is growing and progressing and things like that, I was chomping at the bit. It was probably every day that I was off, I was doing something business related, right? Something to try and help continue to build the company, build myself personally, talk with other people, whatever it may be. Like there's just always building going on. And so when you come back from that time off, like you have all this built up energy of just excitement and ideas and a long list of things you need to do and to start working on, that it can become overwhelming, right? And so for us, like our first day back in the office on Tuesday was honestly, a lot of it was just kind of everybody kind of catching back up. Everybody kind of caught up about what they did over the last week or so, kind of what they're working on right now, what they're wanting to get working on, and just really kind of gaining that alignment again. And then we have our weekly leadership meeting. So we have the first one on Wednesdays. So we'll have that to kind of start setting the pace for the year. And then we'll be doing an off-site meeting for our company in February of some sort. That'll really be the big, kind of laying out the plan for 2024. But nonetheless, getting back into the swing of things after you take that time off, after you enjoy the holidays, you enjoy the food, the drinks, the activities, the sleeping in, staying up late, whatever it may be, it can be a challenge. And I think that's something that we all just have to remember is, the last episode I did last year was New Year, same you, right? That it doesn't change. Like the new year doesn't mean that it's just a new you, right? So if you went into the end of last year winning and having continuous, achievements and accomplishments and growth, you want to make sure that as you go into the new year, into 2024, tapping into what you left off with. And so like for me, a big one was being at the gym. A lot of people, they start getting into fitness in January and February, New Year's resolutions, right? We talked about this already. But as I was at the gym this week, I'm sitting here thinking like, man, this isn't a new me. This is just tapping back into what I did. Did I take some time off from the gym while I was traveling and seeing some family over the holidays? Absolutely. But getting back into the swing of things, eating a little bit healthier, drinking the water you need to drink, just taking care of yourself. It's not a new me. It's the same me. It's just tapping back into those core values, the mission that I have for myself personally and professionally to live those things out. And you have to make sure that you tap into those because that's what sets your intentions. So you have your intentions to be being the same you, the same winning you that you were going into the end of last year. And so once you have those intentions set, then your actions will follow those, right? Because good intentions will only take you so far. It's the actions that have to be really followed up with those intentions. So you want to make sure you have that. Anything else that you're wanting to maybe change or go into this year, start building out some strategies, right? We all have the ideas, we all have the plans, we all have the goals, but if you don't have strategies, if you don't have certain things that you can really lean on and keep yourself accountable with, then again, those plans and goals die right there. They're just ideas, they're just plans, they're just goals that really are just kind of, floating on nothing. So build yourself some strategies, put some fail safes in place, get an accountability partner, whatever it may be going into this year, and tell them about it. Heck, that's one of the reasons I do this podcast is because I like to tell people about what we're doing and what we're working on because it holds me accountable. Because if I put it out there to folks that are gonna ask me how things are going or look for advice on something that I talk about, whatever it might be, I have to make sure that I'm pushing, putting in my work and pulling my weight on to making sure that it's all actually happening behind the scenes. So, and then from there, you want to make sure that you're planning out what you want to look like at the end of the year, right? As you go, if you start a new year from the previous one, you do a lot of reflection. You kind of look at like, man, last year was either really good or last year was a struggle, whatever it may have been for you. You're going to look at that. You're going to evaluate it. So you want to think about, the end in mind. You want to start the year with the end in mind of when you're reflecting back on 2024, what do you want that to look like? What do you want it to look like in your relationships, in your business, in your career, your finances, your health, whatever it may be? Because if you start with that in mind when you start the year, then you reverse engineer the plan, you reverse engineer the strategy to make sure that that comes true. That's not to say that things don't change throughout the year. That's not to say that the path you take to get there might be altered, right? But nonetheless, you at least have an idea of what you're trying to accomplish for the year. As you guys know, I'm not a big guy on setting all the New Year's resolutions and all this. Oh, this is what we're going to do, and I'm going to make this happen, blah, blah, blah. But there is some reality to that. There is some merit to having an end goal in mind of what you're trying to accomplish. So, like I said, you want to make sure that you give yourself some time to reflect on the last year. Reconnect with your peers, your work family, things like that maybe you took some time away from. And just make sure that there's complete alignment in what you guys are trying to do together. And then having that strategy, having that plan set out so that way you can implement those things is going to be crucial in making sure that you achieve that goal for the end of the year. So you can set some big, broad goals. You can set some microscopic goals, whatever it may be. Just make sure that you have something that you're aiming at for the year. That's my big encouragement to you guys. So like I said, guys, I appreciate you joining me back for getting this year started. I'm looking forward to another good year. I'm hoping to continue bringing value to you guys, just providing some insight and any help that we can possibly do. As always, I'm here for